lesson, we're going to take the 12-bar blues progression, we're going to keep it in the bluegrass genre, and we're going to build on it. As you heard, like in example 1, we're just going to start with our forward rolls, and then in each example we're slowly going to add to those rolls, eventually leading to our own solo or building our solo. This lesson can be good for your rhythm playing, holding your rolls, holding your own ground, adding some licks to them, making the rolls more musical as you're playing your rhythm parts. It can also be good if you're in a jam situation and you have to take a lead and you don't necessarily have the melody under your fingers, or maybe you've never even heard the song. But what you can do is start practicing, learning the chord progression and playing, building your solo around the chords. So at least you have some break that you can play even if you don't know the melody. If you'd like full access to this lesson, you can click on one of the 2 links in the description below. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. You can also subscribe to my email list. There's a link in the video description below for that as well. Thanks. To begin this lesson, we got to get some of our basic roll patterns down if you don't have them already. We're going to go over 3 chords, G, C, and D. Those are the 3 chords in the key of G. And we're going to follow that 12-bar blues progression eventually. But first, let's tackle that forward roll. So if we go ahead and look at measure 1, that's going to be our basic G forward roll. I'm placing that bar on the 5th fret of the 4th string. I'm going to strike that with my thumb. I'm going to hit that 3rd string open with my index, followed by that 1st string open with my 2nd finger or middle finger there. And that's a basic forward roll pattern. I'm using strings 4, 3, and 1 in this case. So I do that pattern twice, followed by index middle. Right? Another variation on that would be, you could, for the last 2 notes, you could easily do thumb index. So it would be T-I-M, T-I-M, T-I. For the example that I played, I used obviously the one that's on the tab, but really either one of those would work. And at first, may be a little tricky. So you really want to slow it down. Even if you can't play to the slowest backing track that I recorded, I highly suggest slowing it down with the metronome yourself, doing it really slow. Right? And then gradually working speed, and that's a great way to kind of build endurance and strength in the right hand, and also get the cleanest sound possible. So that was our G forward roll. Now I'm going to move on to measure 5 real quick just to get this roll down. And this roll pattern, I kind of broke up the forward roll a little bit. So that's going to be, it's going to start with the thumb, index. And then I'm going to go thumb on that 5th string, followed by the middle of the 3rd string. And again, my bar's on that 5th fret. I kind of kept this roll for whatever reason. It's probably a habit. Just kind of on the lower 4 strings. So thumb, index, thumb, and then that 5th fret on the 3rd string with my middle. Bringing that thumb back to the 5th string. Going index on the 4th string. Middle on the 3rd string. So it could be a little bit of a tricky pattern. Again, you want to practice it slow. That's what I used in this example. You could take strings, for example, 6, 4, and 3, kind of skipping that 5th string, and just do that forward roll pattern that I did for the G chord as well. So remember, that was thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, index, middle. Whoops. Right? And that would kind of keep your roll patterns consistent. I just kind of switched it up a little bit. Alright, and then for our third chord, the D chord, I went to the 3rd fret of that 5th string, which is a D note. And actually all the notes in this roll pattern, kind of this open D position here, they're all the same note. D, followed by that 4th string open, which is D, followed by that 1st string open, which is D. Again. Again, I just kind of stuck with that same pattern I did for G. So thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, index, middle. Right, so one more time, our G chord. C chord. D chord. So once you kind of work on those rolls separately, slowly, getting them clean, now we can try to tie them together and play through that 12-bar blues progression. You know, this is more, like I said before, a bluegrass style of a blues. So basically, yeah, it starts off measures 1 through 4 is all G chords. So you basically play that roll pattern 4 times. Then we switch to that C chord for 2 measures in measure 5 and 6. Back to the G chord in 7 and 8. Measure 9 is the D chord. Measure 10 is the C chord. And then 11 and 12 would be the G chord again. So it's kind of getting, if you can memorize the order of the progression, that'll help. But basically, yeah, you're just flowing through those roll patterns. I did add 2 pickup notes to it. You know, you can choose to do those or not. Could be easier to add those in later, but the pickup notes are that 4th string open, followed by the 2nd fret of that 4th string. I'm just hitting both of those with my thumb. And that's leading to, you know, my roll pattern in measure 1. So I'm going to go ahead and just go through that 12-bar progression. I'm going to play it slowly, just using the rolls.